Hi, my name is Greg Wilmot. I'm a counseling psychologist, and this is my fourth video in a series called Mental Health and Isolation. Yesterday, I spoke about structure and routine as quite an important part of being able to adjust to kind of new living circumstances and working circumstances as we go into an extended period of kind of quarantine and lockdown. My own experience yesterday of this kind of lockdown and quarantine was going to the shops. I had to go and get some groceries. And as I got to the shop, I noticed there was a really long line and restricted access into the local Pick and Pay. There's certain sections in the shop you couldn't buy stuff, and there's masks and there's sanitizers. There's now big screens in front of the cashiers to kind of create a little bit of a barrier between kind of customers and the cashiers. Again, this is sending a lot of messages about that things are not okay, that there's this invisible pathogen going around, and again, it's triggering a lot of kind of feelings and thoughts about am I okay? Where is this this virus coming from, and what impact is it having? My own experience too has also been a little bit about kind of frustration. I found myself yesterday and a bit this morning kind of pacing around the house like a caged lion, wanting to get out, thinking about, I really want to go and walk my dogs. But unfortunately, that frustration and low motivation and negative outcome is actually a very natural consequence and I suppose effect of being confined as we are in quite limited spaces. I want to talk a little bit today about expectations and expectations about kind of certain emotions that you should, or perhaps you feel that you shouldn't be having at the moment. I don't always like expectations, and I really kind of confront them a lot with my clients quite directly because I'm very mindful of how rigid and inflexible that they can be. There are a lot of consequences if we don't get those kind of expectations done. If you have a boss or a lecturer or another person who is imposing expectations on you, then you feel like that you are wrong for not producing that particular outcome. This leads often to kind of things like conditional thinking, which is I must or I should, attached to a particular kind of condition or consequence. We always look out for these things in cognitive behavioral therapy because it plays an important part in telling us about kind of how we think and how people think that they should think in certain circumstances. In a period of kind of such radical global and local change, I think it would be very kind of remiss of us to actually impose expectations that we should feel a certain kind of a way, that we should be okay, that we should be able to kind of act normally or engage in a normal routine. But with such adaptation and adjustment, there is a loss of things that are familiar. There's a fear of things that are unknown. And an important thing in this period of time is actually about kind of focusing on self-care. You generally would be able to recognize quite well when you're not feeling well. You might be irritable, you might be sad, you might kind of be craving a lot of chocolate and TV and wanting to withdraw a whole lot more. You might not engage with people a lot as you might kind of previously. So recognizing that when these things come up, an important thing is about kind of self-care and taking that responsibility to what a lot of kind of people are talking about at the moment is about self-soothing. The ability to kind of provide yourself some reassurance, connect with family and friends, and being gentle with yourself when there are expectations that things should be going a certain kind of a way and that I must be doing things with a particular kind of outcome. Do allow time to be sad, to be frustrated, to kind of withdraw, to recuperate and recover. I often speak to students about the evolutionary kind of development of things like depression. It makes a lot of sense for us to kind of withdraw, protect ourselves, lick our wounds, as it were, when things are not going well or bad things have happened to us. This evolutionary adaptation to withdraw back into the cave, recover, recuperate, plan, and then be able to go out is, I think, kind of where we are at the moment. We need to kind of, stay at home, recuperate, take stock of what's going on around us, and then once we kind of understand this a little better and we are stronger ourselves, we'll be able to kind of then go out into the world and be able to kind of move and shake as we would need to in this kind of radically changing world. Take the time also to express your thoughts and feelings. Pick up the phone, chat to a friend, talk to your partner, even journal or blog or kind of make a vlog, I suppose, to kind of share some of these thoughts and feelings about what's going on. So my final point for the day is just be mindful of those expectations that you should feel a certain way or that you shouldn't feel a certain way. Be mindful of that conditional thinking and expectations that can impose kind of quite rigid expectations and limitations on yourself. So that's it for today. If you'd like more information, you'd like to contact me, go into my website at wilmotpsychology.co.za and you can send me an email or you can message me directly. I'd be very keen to hear about what you have to say about some of your own experiences and how you are coping during this time of lockdown. I look forward to hearing from you soon, and I'll put up another video tomorrow. Okay, cheers, bye.